Welcome to the Value of Science lesson number 8. And in this lesson, we're going to be focusing on experiential values of joy. So how do you create joy within your workplace? So again, there are a lot of small things that we can do to create joy. Those everyday experiences that we create that are experiential values that lead to people experiencing joy in the workplace. So joy is a term that sounds very broad and expansive, but let's explore it more. So again, how does it fit into the overall big picture of experiential values? We had talked about the calming and excitatory values. And in the calming values, we have these relational foundations with the indicator of peace showing that you've built good trust and harmony. Trust being the cornerstone. That's the value you need to start with in order to create a culture. And then moving into the second layer, once we've got this layer done, then we can start moving into how we make work for others, to shape things for others. That requires wisdom. And then we covered nobility. And now if you do wisdom and nobility well, you should experience joy as well in your workplace. So peace and joy are indicators that you're experiencing and you're having a whole picture of these values being played out well within your culture. So those are two key indicators that you need to see, and we're going to be jumping into joy. Okay, so the primary question for joy is, do we enjoy life together? Are we making a life that we enjoy living together? How do we experience it? Joy is made up of these three sub-values of awe, delight, and exhilaration. So let's explore each of those. Now, awe, what is that? It's encountering something vast. So I love going mountain climbing and hiking through beauty in nature. And I experience awe a lot of times. I just want to see a big view. I want to see farther, something bigger than me, the ocean, the mountains, the forests. That's where we experience awe a lot of times. We can experience awe in beautiful things, music and art, architecture and things like that. But here's another one that's interesting. We can also experience awe in the execution of fine moral acts. So in the execution of all of these values well, creating trust well, creating harmony, peace, knowledge, and nobility, doing all of those things. Like think about an experience where you see a movie where someone saves a child, or when a soldier lays down his life for another soldier, or when Mother Teresa does something just incredible and saves the lives of others. That gives us awe. You can even sometimes feel goosebumps from a story that brings that sense of moral courage out. So what's the opposite of awe? It's boredom. Failing to see the amazingness of life. There's so many amazing things from little children to your coworkers. I was on an airplane the other day, and we're all flying at 30,000 feet, and I look out the window, and the sun is rising over the clouds, and it's just pink, and we see the clouds, and I thought, what millions and millions of people never get to see this, and nobody on that plane was looking out the window going, this is awesome. But it really is something. So take the time and look around and see all the awesome things that are around us. I mean, look at this technology. It's all awesome. So delight. What does delight mean? Delight is a very human attribute. It's being happy with others, happy to be with others. And so what do you do when you encounter other people? Are you happy to be with them? Do you focus on them at all? Those strangers in the street, the person at the checkout, the coworkers you see every day, do you show that you're excited to be with them? That's going to be in your own personality way of showing your excitement. But how do you show that you delight and I'm really happy to be with you? Do you spend the 2 minutes? You don't have to say explicitly, I'm happy to be with you, but you show it by, do you greet them? Do you look up from your computer at all? Or are you just focused on your work all the time and you never look at the people around you and say hello? I'm glad to be with you. Because really, that's why we're doing all this, is for the people around us. So take the time and delight in the people around you. What's the opposite of delight? Well, it's ignoring the presence of others around you. So often today we get caught up in our technology and we never even look at each other. How many times have you seen people around going out to eat and nobody's even talking? Everyone's on their devices, just spacing out, or it just happens again and again where we're not connecting anymore. We're not delighting in the people that are around us. So it's an opportunity for us to reach out and to connect with people and create this experience of delight with others. Now, exhilaration. Exhilaration is an interesting part of joy. It involves a little bit of risking and accomplishing things. So oftentimes when you reach that pinnacle, when you reach that goal, you've done extra to try to do things, that comes with this feeling of exhilaration. We made it. We did it. We climbed that mountain. We finished that big project. We invested money and now we won. So that's something that can happen. And it's a part of joy. And it's a very energetic part of joy. It's probably the most energetic part of joy is the feeling of exhilaration. So, but it comes usually with a bit of risk. So that's something that you need to realize. And you can also make risks within safe limits. You don't have to take unnecessary risks, but it does mean venturing out of the normal. So what is the opposite of exhilaration? Never risking, never reaching for more, just ho-hum, making sure that everything stays ho-hum, and never actually risking any part of your life that might cause you to be exhilarated. So just a thought about a part of joy, making big projects, big reaches where people might fail, but they also might succeed. There's something about that makes us feel joy. So that's what characterizes joy, these three sub-characteristics of awe, delight, and exhilaration. And like I said, if we're doing the working relationship well, we should end up in joy, this part of us where we feel energized and it's a positive experience. And then peace, where we feel less energy and we feel it's a positive experience. So you could see how it accomplishes the positive elements mostly of the emotional experience. So again, thinking through dilemmas. How do we create joy? Or on the opposite realm, how do we neglect joy? So let's look into this. How do you have a good discussion about this in your team? So here's some things. When have you experienced awe in your life? Have some discussion about that. And you could have a discussion about what distracts you from seeing things that are really awesome that are all around you at work right now. Delight. How does it feel when people show that they're glad to see you? Are you happy to be part of the group? It's kind of like Cheers, when everybody knows your name and you walk in the door and everybody goes, Norm! And they're all excited to see you. So, do you create that in your workplace? What opportunities are you missing to connect with others that shows that you care? So how can you create those opportunities at work? Exhilaration. What are you doing that's risky but could have big rewards? What keeps you from stepping out and trying something to reach for something bigger? So those are the types of discussions you could have in the workplace to try to encourage yourself to think about how the little things that we do connect with the bigger things, the experiential values that we're creating. And according to Harvard Business Journal authors, that it's very important that we do this on a regular basis, to not leave these values merely in the abstract as, a poster on the wall with those three words. Without these kind of concrete discussions, you're not going to get those connections, and you're not going to push yourself further into the exploration of these values without that kind of discussion. That's why I put these in each one of these experiences here. Okay, so that'll lead us from creational values to experiential values and making those connections within our workplace.